The London Weekly. Catching up with the celebrities.
Okay, good evening. This is Angus Auden talking to Phil Tufnell, who has recently just given up smoking. Good afternoon, Phil. How are you?
I'm very well.
Cool. And how long have you been a smoker?
I've been a smoker for, crikey, about 25 years now. So I decided it was time to give it a go at packing it in. So it's been tough, fallen off the wagon a couple of times, but I'm still in there, still hanging in.
Okay. How many cigarettes did you smoke a day?
I must have been on about a pack a day, probably, but then, at a weekend or if you're out at a party, it could go up to even more than that. So I just felt it was high time. I started getting pains in the chest a bit and a bit wheezing, so I just thought it was high time to sort of give it a crack and give up.
How did that affect the sporting career with the cricket? And also, you appeared on Strictly Come Dancing last year. How did that affect your performance?
Well, when you're younger and you're running about and you're sort of having a cigarette and what have you, it doesn't really matter so much, does it? Because you're still pretty young and fit and healthy and what have you. But I did the dancing in the first couple of days of training. It was quite shocking. I was a bit out of breath and I was feeling to myself that I'm unfit. So that was just another trigger that sort of made in my head that made me sort of think to myself, well, now's the time to try and give up because, I didn't I wanted to be able to sort of go out and do what I did when I was younger, but I'm afraid that's not the case, is it? So, I thought of myself now's the time.
And how many times have you tried to give up before?
Yeah, I've tried to give up a couple of times before. New Year's resolutions that have failed miserably. Sort of if you had flu for a couple of days or something, you sort of go, right, I'm going to try and give up now.
Yeah.
But, none of them have worked really well, so I thought it was just time to, seek some help. So I went down to Boots, my local pharmacist, and had a chat to the pharmacist down there.
Okay, and when you tried to quit before, some people have gone down have been known to use the hypnotist route to stop smoking. Have you ever thought about that one, or?
Yeah, I've tried that. I did try that once, but I came out, I had a very nice sleep for about half an hour, then lit up a cigarette.
Oh, God.
Plus it cost me a few quid, so I thought, well, I won't go back and do that. So that one obviously didn't work for me, but I've got the patches now and the gum and the inhalator, sort of cigarette inhalator and stuff, so just trying to do it that way.
So you're doing the full whack, really. How are your family and friends? What are they saying? They reckon you'll do it this time, or do they think you give up again, or?
Well, my wife's joined me on Wednesday. Last Wednesday, my wife gave up as well with me to give me some support. So I think that's the main reason. That's the crucial thing, really, is about the support angle.
What's the symptoms? Are you both sort of experiencing the same symptoms? Has she been smoking as long as you, or you have these?
No, she's a bit more of a sort of social smoker than I am. But I've started not to get so much many chest pains now. Starting to sort of feel a little bit more relaxed in the chest area.
Okay.
Just started to sort of sleep better as well a bit and wake up a bit more refreshed. I'm not sure about the taste thing really. They say that your taste buds come back as well, but I don't know whether I'm just imagining to myself that I'm tasting all these new tastes, but that's sort of happening as well.
It's in the head,
but I must hold my hands up. Last Saturday I had a couple, but as the pharmacist said, it's not the end of the world. Don't beat yourself up too much about it.
You were on I'm a Celebrity as well. Did you have any cigarettes while you were there? Any sneaky ones, or?
Well, you're allowed, I think, 10 a day or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So we just had that sort of ration.
Are there a lot of sportsmen that smoke, or is it a common thing within the sports?
I'm not quite sure. When I was playing sport, there were more sportsmen that smoked for sure, but I think that the sort of attitudes have changed a little bit towards it now. So I wouldn't imagine that too many do. And if they do, they sort of let on. They sort of do it in secret a bit, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Every smoker has a dreadful smoking confession. Have you got any confessions on smoking? Desperate measures, or no? Okay. Now that you obviously trying to quit smoking, if you're going down to the pub with your friends, or you're at a social situation, if they went outside for a cigarette, would you sort of be tempted to join them, or?
Well, yes. This is the main thing that this is why I've sort of fallen off the wagon a couple of times. Really, is in those situations where it becomes harder. During the week, it seems to be a little bit easier to cut them out, but it's during the weekend when you're having a fag with your mates or whatever.
Is it the craving that you think that causes people who try to quit to start again? Is it just the craving that does it, or?
Well, I'm not sure necessarily about the craving. It's just sort of like, for me, it's more, say during the week it's been all right. I think it's more the sort of like, it's the habit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, but
I've been trying to quit biting my nails for so long, and that's not quite happening at the moment.
Yeah, I think eating oranges or tangerines. Whenever I fancy a cigarette, I have a tangerine now to give you something to do with your hands.
Okay.
You get a nice bit of fruit instead.
So, what would you advise other people that are trying to quit?
I'd say go down and get some support from your boots care pharmacist, because she sat me down, had a very nice chat with her, did all the sort of the lung tests and what have you, and got all that kind of like going well. And she gave me some very good information, put me on the right sort of patches and what have you, and it went from and it's also that support base as well.
With the smoking ban in England and in public places, what was your attitude to the smoking ban? Were you in favour of it when you were a smoker, and has that attitude changed?
Yeah,
or?
That's the rules, and so that's just sort of like obviously when the smoke outside pubs and stuff.
Yeah, so you were quite happy with it at the time. So it hasn't really changed your mind in terms of when you were smoking anyway. Would you ban smoking, on a wider scale across London, not just in public places, but if you?
No, I would. I don't think I would. No.
As a Londoner, you grew up in North London. What would be your top 3 best attractions in London?
Top 3 best attractions.
Yeah.
The Emirates Football Club. Let's go and watch a game at the Arsenal. Big Ben and the London Eye.
Okay, cool.
The London Weekly. Catching up with the celebrities.